In this section, we will introduce the sequential steps of metastasis as first defined by Dr. Fidler. The sequential steps of metastasis can be broken into 8 steps: primary tumor growth, angiogenesis or new blood vessel growth to the primary, the cell's acquisition of motility through an epithelial-to-mesenchymal transition, invasion, intravasation into the circulation, survival in the circulation, extravasation out of the circulation, and dormancy and subsequent secondary tumor growth. Let's look at each of these steps in more detail. Primary tumor growth. Cancer starts to grow at one site. This is termed the primary tumor or primary cancer of that organ. For example, breast cancer, lung cancer, prostate cancer. Even after the cancer spreads to other organs, it is still referred to as cancer of that primary organ. For example, prostate cancer that is found metastasized to the bone is still referred to as prostate cancer, not as bone cancer. Likewise, if the cancer started in the breast and is found metastasized to the bone, it is still referred to as breast cancer, not as bone cancer. The second step in metastasis is angiogenesis. A tumor cannot grow to more than 1 millimeter in size unless it attracts new blood vessels. New blood vessels provide the growing cancer with nutrients and oxygen and provide the cancer cells with a pathway to other sites in the body. This was suggested by Ewing. The next step is what's called the mesenchymal transition or epithelial-to-mesenchymal transition. This is the acquisition of a motile phenotype, or simply meaning a cell that can walk around and move versus one that can't. It is thought that cancer cells undergo a change in phenotype to make them more mesenchymal or fibroblastic, cells that lack polarity and can move more. This allows them to be more invasive and walk out of the primary tumor. This is a very important step. If a cancer cell does not acquire this motile phenotype, it would have to literally fall into the circulation, fall into the blood vessel because it couldn't actively move there. That active movement is addressed in the next step. The next steps in metastasis are invasion and intravasation. Cancer cells invade the tissue surrounding the cancer, and then they break through the blood vessel wall and move into the circulation. This breaking through the blood vessel wall is referred to as intravasation. The next step is survival in the circulation. Cancer cells in the circulation must survive turbulent blood flow and escape detection by cells of the immune system that would recognize them as abnormal and try to kill them. You can see why Dr. Fidler felt that successful metastasis was a stochastic event, as many cells are killed in the circulation as they try to survive the turbulence. Imagine a cell going through the heart. It would really be the equivalent of a human being going over Niagara Falls with no barrel. It's very hard to survive that kind of turbulent flow. In addition, having left this quote-unquote safety of the primary tumor, the cancer cells are exposed to circulating immune cells whose total job is to find them and kill them by recognizing that they're abnormal. So these cells, as they migrate through the circulation, are under tremendous stress as well as exposed to their enemy, the immune system. The next step is extravasation. Remember that moving into the circulation was intravasation. When cancer cells reach a target organ, like prostate or breast cancer to bone, they attach to the blood vessel wall and then invade into the tissue. This is termed extravasation. The last step is dormancy and subsequent secondary tumor growth. Cancer cells in the new tissue or soil most likely survive in a dormant state for a period of time before they start to proliferate and form a detectable clinical metastasis. In summary, cancer cells must acquire many properties and go through a series of steps to successfully spread to and establish in another organ. Future lectures in this course will go into each of these steps in more detail. If you're taking this course for credit, now is the time to take the online quiz for this section. You can find the link to the quiz on the course homepage. In addition, after you have reviewed your answers to all of the quizzes you have taken, you can take the final exam for this lecture, which is also linked on the course homepage.